we've identified at this point in time that I'm actually really bad at events vlogging, like actually horrible at it. I mean, I've been taking like some footage, but like I didn't take anything of like our food last night or anything like that. So it's day 2, Readers Take Denver. I'll probably do like a full recap later, like once I'm home, like tomorrow. Did you get breakfast?
Huh?
You get breakfast? But as of right now, I'm sitting on the floor and we're waiting to be let into Adams 1. I don't think we're gonna get into Adams 2, unless I'm crazy and I can't do math all of a sudden, which is a bummer because I definitely have pre-orders in that room. So I guess we'll figure that out. Yeah, 3,186. It's gonna be a long shot. But I might actually do a better job of vlogging today since I'm not like running around trying to see specific people other than the ticketed ones, and I just have to wait till I call my ticket anyways. I did see Rebecca yesterday, and I will be fangirling over those books at a later clip. But as of right now, I'm just gonna sit here. It's snowing, and I'll flip the camera around, not on Amanda though, because she's eating and I want to do that to her. But I'll flip the camera around because it actually looks really cool, and at 11:14 p.m. tonight, I'll be back in 85-degree weather, so, you know, I like to balance it out. So, yeah, it's looks like it's sticking. I don't know. I think that's the technical term up here in the north, but I don't pretend to understand anything. It is a technical term? Okay. It's sticking, so I'm basically a professional now. So, I'll probably also go into like the main signing rooms and kind of film there too, because there's a lot going on, but there's actually a pretty functional setup. Like we saw a lot of people yesterday, and I'm actually going back because I saw a lot of new authors I've never even heard of, and I definitely want to check their books out and stuff like that. I'm trying to figure out who's an author. But anyways, I gotta go. Mayor's texting us, so let's see what she has to say. Hey book besties, welcome back to the channel. As you can tell, we're home. I'm gonna explain all of this right now. So you probably just saw, if I remember the footage, and I'm so tired right now. If I remember my footage correctly, right before this, you're seeing me walk onto the plane that was delayed 5 times and had 3 gate changes out of Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas. So I started my adventure obviously in Denver, and we were delayed for 2 hours in Denver. So I was supposed to land in Dallas at like 7. I think. No, okay, back it up. I was supposed to land in Dallas at 5, and I was supposed to take off at like 7 something. So I had a 2.5 hour layover, which if you've ever been to DFW, you need like nothing less than like an hour, or you might not make it to your next gate. So I was like, okay, 2 hours, like that's awesome. So then I was delayed 2 hours, and then my next flight wasn't delayed. So I was like, am I getting stuck in Dallas? And then I was like, okay, we're not going to panic, right? So I just get on the flight to Denver, because either way, I have to start making my way towards the East Coast. Like either way, I have to make it back to Florida. So I was like, we're just going to get on the plane. So we go on the plane, my ears, like had a lot of pressure because I wasn't feeling well when I came. So like coming back, I guess it just was a hard, like literally my left ear still hasn't popped yet. And I'm going a little crazy right now. And so la-di-da, we get to Dallas, right? And I sit on the tarmac for an hour and a half. So we don't deplane. It takes an hour and a half for us to get a gate and then to begin the deplaning process, right? So I'm like, okay, cool. And at this point in time, I think we're 2 delays deep, and they delayed us like 2 hours the first time and then like another hour the second time. And then as I'm deplaning, thinking I only have 30 minutes to make it to my gate, which we landed in A and I had to be in C. So, and there's a tram obviously, and the only way to get from each of the sections is on the tram. So I was like, okay. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna make a valiant effort. If I show up and they've already boarded and the flight's closed, like they can just push me to another flight, right? Like I can get home somehow. So I make it all the way over to C19. I'm like, okay, I see the gate. I see we're boarding in a couple minutes. No problem. I go in to use the bathroom. I come back out and they've changed our gates. So I'm at C gates, right? And I'm supposed to be at D gates, but you have to go through E to get to D. So then I get on the tram and I get all the way over to the D gates. I get to D27 only to find out we've been delayed another hour, right? But there's a plane and there's a crew and the pilots aren't going to time out. So we're all just waiting, right? So then the people coming off of the plane have been on the tarmac for 2 hours, right? So they landed probably about the same time that my first flight landed and they're just deplaning, right? So they clean everything up, blah, 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 blah. We get on the plane. We're supposed to take off at 10:08. We do not take off until like DFW time. We do not take off until 11 p.m. Okay? And for reference, it's a 2-hour flight, but you have to tack on an hour because I live on the East Coast. So I land in Jacksonville at like 2:15 in the morning. Me and 2 other flights from DFW all into Jacksonville at the same time, right? So I land at 2:15. Then I have to, because it was a full flight, I have to force check my bag, right? I'm just sitting over here. Thank goodness it made it because like I had books in there from the sighting and I was stressed. But anyways, forget the clothes, forget the makeup, forget everything else that I checked. Like I have books in there, okay? So we get there, I have to wait for my bag. And obviously because of everything that was happening, I didn't want to like ask my parents to wait up for me that late. So I had to Uber home and I live like 40 minutes from the airport. So it was like $50 to get home, but I didn't even care. So I'm opening my door, 3:15 in the morning. And my brother works for, I flew American. My brother works for American Airlines. So he was clocking in at the same time I was walking into my house. And he was like, hey, are you on the flight that just landed from Dallas? And I was like, no, I got in on the first round at like 2:15 or whatever. And he goes, oh, okay. And then like 10 minutes later, he texts me and he's like, hey, every Jacksonville to Dallas flight was canceled yesterday. Was the weather really that bad? And I was like, well, when I got in, like the turbulence was horrible. But like it wasn't raining or anything like that anymore, but we were delayed 2 hours, right? Come to find out, the flight that I was originally on from Denver got canceled completely. So the fact that I changed my flight actually ended up working out really well for me because as you can tell, like I'm home, I look exhausted because I am exhausted because I didn't fall asleep till like 4:30, 5 o'clock this morning. I'm coming across 3 time zones. I was delayed for like ever. Like honestly, I didn't know if I was going to make it home or not. And I turned the lights on to film this and I was like, no, we're turning them right back off. It's a vibe. It's an ambiance. You know what I mean? Taylor Swift could do a grayscale. I could do a grayscale too. I'm nowhere near Taylor Swift. But I just wanted to give like just a little bit of an update of why like you won't see a ton of footage from day 2, mostly just because everything happened with it between like 11 to 11:45. So I saw like 7 or 8 authors between that 45-minute frame because I finally got into one of the signing rooms. So I saw like Claire Kingsley, Holly Renee, C.G. Reese. Yeah, the cough's not gone. What else? I saw somebody else. Oh, I saw Lucy Smoke. It was wonderful to see her. I'm really excited to read her RH that she just released. I mostly was just going to say hey to her because I totally slacked. I didn't pre-order or anything like that. And then, oh my gosh, there was something else. There was one other person that I saw. Claire Kingsley. I got a chance to see her. She was in the second ticketed room, and I love her Bailey Brothers series. I'm actually on the 3rd book right now. 3rd book. And I love her Bailey Brothers series, so I was just like so excited to finally get a chance to meet her. And the crazy thing is like I given up hope meeting her, so I'd already shipped my books. So I was like, can you sign these book plates? And I'll just put them on my books later. Hang on a second.
Mike, yes, me, nice.
Not Kitchen Nightmares coming on the back. I mean, we should have Plain Nightmares because granted it's probably not the worst like nightmare in this history of nightmares, but like that thunderstorm in Dallas destroyed like so many people's lives yesterday. Like honestly, I feel very lucky that my flight wasn't canceled out of Denver because I have to be at work tomorrow, and all I could think was I was like, oh, I'm gonna be like unrealistic leaving so early to come back. But now I'm like grateful that my anxiety was like, no, we need to leave one day early just in case something happens, because y'all, something happened. And had I been trying to fly back to today with like so many Dallas flights canceled and so many people being rerouted other places, I don't think I would have made it back for work tomorrow, and that would have been a much bigger problem. So I want to do a book call because I didn't vlog too much on this, so I want to do a book call, but half my books are coming via FedEx and they'll be here on Wednesday. So my plan is when the box comes in on Wednesday, like Wednesday night, I'll film like the haul and everything. So I'll get this video up at some point this week. I just don't know. Probably like, I'd say like it'd probably be a weekend release, just because like I would want time to be able to like edit it and stuff. But I just thought I'd come on and get you guys caught up. Like, I am home. I did make it safely, so we're gonna focus on the positives. I just think it's funny that the last 2 times I've flown, I've had coming back has been the hardest part of my trip. And I always get stuck on the layovers. Like the first flight, okay, whatever. Like I was delayed a little bit when I flew back from Utah after seeing my bestie. And then I was obviously delayed in Denver, but it was once you hit that connection and you get to that next airport that everything just went wrong for me. So I told my mom, texted my mom, I was like, listen, I'm not flying anytime soon. Like I can't handle this, okay? It is too much for me. All I know though is, you guys are seeing this later, but definitely sending happy thoughts to my brother because he agreed to work overtime today, not realizing that every flight from Dallas got canceled the day before. So like they had to double up on flights today, and all of the flights are like super full and heavy. So definitely thinking positive thoughts for him, but I'm gonna chug this Pedialyte. Coming back from a high altitude and being sick at the same time is, anyway, and then I gotta decide I gotta go to work tomorrow. So I'm gonna decide what I'm gonna wear and kind of just like chill out because it was quite a weekend. And I will, like, when I do like the book haul, like I know there's a lot of controversy around the signing. I'm not gonna speak, like, I'm not gonna say negative. I'm just like, hey, like, these are things that I wish had gone differently. But overall, I had a really great experience. Like, I was very lucky in the sense that, like, I made it onto the list for Rebecca Yaros. I saw her the first day. I managed to get in to see Catherine. I managed to see Laura. I saw S. Vassery. I saw Liz Tom Ford. Like, I was very fortunate that my number got called for the second signing room too, and I snuck in enough to see like the people. I wanted to see everybody in those rooms, but then I had to kind of like cut down. Oh, I saw S.J. Tilly too, and we got to fangirl over Hans. So I really did enjoy my experience. However, I will say that I will not be attending next year. And I will say that moving forward, I really think I'm only going to focus on going to like smaller signings. And smaller signings, I mean like from like an attendee perspective. So like 500 and below, I really feel like is going to be where I'm at with everything, because I just feel like I would prefer to be like in a more intimate setting. The ability to not feel like I'm rushing through every interaction with the authors, and then like, you know, just being able to meet other bookish people and kind of doing like fun things like that. So that's the 10-minute update that I don't think anybody was ready for. I'm gonna go, like I said, drink some Pedialyte, get ready for my day tomorrow. Next time you see me, I will be midweek opening up my book box. I did get my first edition by Rebecca Yaros signed. Doesn't matter how I feel about Iron Flame. She was actually a very wonderful person to speak to. She was very nice, so excited. Like, it didn't even matter how many people got in her line and how many people she knew she had to see. Like, she really tried to make that interaction like important to you. And I got a quote stamp on there, and the quote was written in her handwriting, and it was like specific to the book. So that was so cool. She signed my first edition, so she made it like even more exciting. So I really did enjoy myself. There are some things that like I'll discuss, but I'm not going to go on like a smear campaign. Like, I think that plenty of people have posted how they feel about it. And to be honest with you, like, once I saw what was going to happen, I was like, you know what, whoever I get to meet, wherever I get to meet them, I'm excited about that. And I'm choosing to hold on to that and not be, I don't want to say like upset, but not let that ruin my experience, right? Because I did get to see a lot of people that other people didn't get to see, and I feel very fortunate for that. And also too, I got the Catherine Cowles arc, so, and I got the Toucher and Die. So, yeah, my weekend was made just simply by that. But yeah, so I'll catch you guys with a giant FedEx box and all the stuff I have to offload from my carry-on that was force checked, but my carry-on because I really did get like a really sick call from this one. And yeah, I'm really excited. I am also kind of excited that my next book signing as of right now isn't until March. So I've got plenty of time to kind of like plan for that one. And it's in Orlando, which is super close to me. So I get to drive, which means I can bring as many books as I want to. Okay. All right. So anyways, I'm gonna catch you guys later. Welcome back. So as promised, I'm here with the book haul from Readers Take Denver. And with the new hairstyle. I dyed my hair Well, the lady, the wonderful, my bestie, who does my hair, died it last night. So we've gone dark again. It was a valiant run for the light hair. I think we made it like 2 sessions, maybe 3. But we're back, baby. And I'm back with a book haul. So I'm just going to try and like lean this to show you. We have some books to get through. So without further ado, let's get into it. So I was in like the Readers Take Denver group, and I've seen Dr. Rebecca Sharp's books around, but I haven't like actually read them, like gotten to meet her or whatever. But then she said they showed a, what do you call it, a cutout of Spencer Reid from Criminal Minds, and I was like, oh, I obviously have to go visit. And then she was like, hey, I have a book called Reputation for any of my T-Swift fans, loosely based off of Reputation. I'm pretty sure she's the biggest pop star in the world, and he is her brother's best friend. So obviously I had to get the 5-year anniversary edition because she had some of those still at her table when I came by. So I'm gonna move this over so I actually have a place to like put the book. So that's the first book I got from her. The second book I got was Ranger. So this is book 4 in the Reynolds Protective Group, and the reason why I specifically had to have this one is because this is the one that she based off of Spencer Reid from Criminal Minds. And come on now, we're all Reid girlies here, and if you're not, you obviously just haven't been watching the same show as I have. So obviously I needed this copy. Oh my gosh, I didn't even know there's a picture in here. This is cool. So yeah, I'm pretty sure she sold out of these too, like at the, because when she posted that about Spencer Reid, a lot of us came over, so I'm pretty sure she sold out of them for the signing, which was actually pretty cool. Next up, I met S.J. Tilly, and I didn't pre-order anything, so I just got Mr. Sin. I actually haven't read this one yet, but I wanted like a signed book from her. And then obviously I just fangirled over the Alliance series, and Hans, who's, that's my man, who's like absolutely my favorite from the series. And she was just so wonderful. And I can move my hand so you can see her name. Just so wonderful. And I'm really loving the hardback phase that we're in. And I hope we never leave it, if we're being honest with each other. So this book actually, Jess from Love to Love Books gifted it to me, and I took it all the way with me to Denver so she could sign this book for me. This is the only one in the series that I've read. But yeah, so there's that. It's the only one in the series I've read. I actually really enjoyed it because I stopped reading it at first because you have to be like in the mood for a dark romance in order to read this. So I stopped reading it at first, and then I picked it back up again when I was like in that mood, and it's just too good. I'm actually really looking forward to continuing on with the series when that time comes. I think I actually have one of them. I have the next book downloaded on my KU, but I could be wrong about that. Next up, so literally just like one of the most like amazing humans. I saw her at the Small Town Romance panel, and then I got the opportunity to like kind of chat with her. Like when I saw her, it was like the very end of the night, and I just got into the ticketed room and my number got called. But I got Loving Romeo from Laura Pavlov. So this was her special edition for Readers Take Denver. And like I said, I haven't read any of her books yet. She's so wonderful, so funny. Really enjoyed her at the panel. And then I want to say like the signing ended, we were like in the last 5 minutes. So like, she'd already been signed all day. She had seen a bunch of people. Like she really took the time to chat with me, which was like, oh my gosh, she looks so cute. And I was just like, thank you, so do you. And she was just generally like she was just a genuine person. And she's on my TBR. And I think once I get done reading all of Catherine Cowell's backlist, I'm going to move on to her backlist as well, because like they have the small town author romance vibe going, and I just kind of want to continue that. So really excited to get this one. This is the one I believe she just released. So like when she was asked what her favorite book was, she's like, well, my favorite book's always the one that I just finished. So this is the one she told me I needed to get. I was so excited to find out Lana Petrichik, and I don't know if I'm saying that correctly, and if you're seeing this, I'm so sorry. I try really hard not to butcher people's names. I didn't know she was going to be there until only like a couple of days before, and I was so excited. She was one of the first authors that I saw at the signing in general. I was like, no, I have to get over there. I have to meet her because, she's based in Australia, so she doesn't, they don't always come to U.S. signings, which I absolutely respect, but I knew she was going to be there, and I was like, obviously, I need to show up. So this is Season of the Wolf. This is book 1 in the entire Fae Guardian series. I'm trying not to get my ring light on it or whatever, but The Longing of Lone Wolves is the first book. So this follows Rush and Clark, and they kind of like start everything, and then all naked, it has the symbol of the wolf, and then this. So welcome to Elfine. The Fae Guardians have been waiting for you. Ooh, there's character art in here. I haven't really like looked at this because like this literally just came out of the box that I shipped to myself. But no, I'll look at this kind of stuff later. But she was so cool and really took the time to like get chat. And I was fangirling so hard because I just finished Shade and Silver's book, which is book 6 on the plane. And I was like, oh my gosh, you were so right. Like I definitely shouldn't have waited to read it on the plane because like I was tearing up like in the corner, like trying to hide my eyes so nobody saw me, but I was like, and we were laughing about that. But it was just really cool to get a chance to meet her and just to tell her like, hey, I love this series and I'm binging it hardcore right now. Like I only have 3 books, I think, until I'm caught up. And she's just really cool about it. And I appreciated that because I kind of was just like, oh my gosh, I love your stuff. And I just like word vomited a little bit. So next up is Samantha B. And I met her back in Shameless like 2 years ago, I want to say. And I have the first 3 books in the series, and this is book 4, Beautiful Chaos. And I haven't finished the series. I've read the first book, and like obviously I need to continue on, which is not usually like me because I'm normally the one who like finishes the series. But here we are. So I got this book. She signed it for me so it can round out my collection because obviously I needed it to match the rest of them that are down here. Matchy matchy. Then I picked up Player Problems, which is her hockey romance, and I haven't had a chance to read it yet, but I'm pretty positive that I'm gonna love it. So let's see. I'll bring the tits, you bring the tequila. Hell yeah. Player Problems. So, and I like kind of like how we get like the, because this is I guess the discreet or the object cover, and then this and this. And I love the I'll bring the tits, you bring the tequila. I'll bring both, girl. Okay, the tits and the tequila. Thanks for the invite. And then obviously Heather Long was gonna be there, and you guys know that like I'm really good friends with her, but also too like she's an amazing author, and if you haven't read her books yet, I will definitely link up here like where you should start. So this book, I only had 2 books that I didn't have signed, and then I picked up 2 more from her because I subscribed to her Patreon, and I have the one where she sends me like a paperback every 2 months, every month. I don't know, whichever tier gets you the signed paperback. So I'll show you those in a second. So this is Bad Boys. This is in the Blue Ivy Prep series, and this is book number 2. So obviously she needed to sign it for me. This is one of the few on my shelf over there that I don't have her signature for, which I was like, this is crazy. And then Last Word, which is, this is Cash, my man Cash. This is the Cardinal Sin series that she wrote with Blake Blessing. So this is a daughter of a serial killer romance RH series, and it is very near and dear to my heart. So she signed this one for me as well. And then I gotta show off my mans, you know? My man. So, my 2 men are Milo and Bodhi, and Bodhi's book is he's gonna be on the next cover. So unfortunately I don't have his, but this is Ezra and this is Adam. And so they're the other 2 guys that round out our little harem situation, and they are gorgeous, and I love these covers. So yeah, she gave me these so she didn't have to ship them because obviously I was already there. I saw Rebecca Janchak, and I obviously had to get Wildcat in like the neon covers, and I'm kind of like, should I have gotten the whole series? Maybe, but I didn't, and I'll be okay. Oh, what's this? Oh, I know what this is. But I didn't get the whole thing. I'm really loving, I really like the cover, and I've only read Wildcat, so I was like, you know, Kyan, like you've only read this one, like you just need to stick to this one. So I was very proud of myself that I did that. Although I do need to go back and I need to reread it because I need a refresher. Then I got, so if you watched my Sweetgrass unboxing, then you know that I just read Holly Renee when I went to go meet her, when I went to the signing, and I met her, and I got the this really sick like omnibus, and I always say that wrong, and it is what it is. So this is her next series that she's working on right now. This is the only book out in the series. So you have, it's the Veiled Kingdom, and then Like, hello. And then, let me see, I'll get it all Nike. Beg Me, Little Traitor. I haven't read it yet, but everything I see about it and every teaser she posts, I'm just like, ugh. And I have other plans, like I have vlogs that I'm trying to finish, and I'm just like, well, like what if I just read this really quickly? And then the really pretty page. And I love the fact that she signed in like the bronze and the gold, because it looks really good on the black page. I'm almost done, I swear. I actually didn't come home with as many books as I thought I was going to. Wait a second. Oh wait, now I have in a whole other bag. Anyways, I didn't come home with as many books as I thought I was going to, so 3 cheers for me. I also met Claudia Bergoa. So she was on the Small Town Romance panel, and she was just like, oh yeah, like I've published 80 books. And I was like, come again? And then I leaned over to Mare and I was like, okay, but how cool would it be if I did a whole vlog series and like I read her entire backlist? And she was like, haha. I was like, anyways, so kind of a little sneaky peek. I haven't posted anything about it yet, but this is Love in Kintbury. So I kind of went up to her and was like, hey, like I saw you at the Small Town Romance panel, like, and this is literally, I'm gonna pause for a second. Those are all her books. Anyway, so I was like, hey, if I, like, you know, if you were to tell me, this is where you have to start, or like pick a book for me, like on your shelves over here, like which one would you choose? And so she picked this one up for me and I bought it, and I'm really excited to read it. It's so cute. I love the cover. It is Small Town Romance. Y'all, I didn't read them, but I met her. So I have both of them signed. I'm really excited about it. If I had like any forethought, I would have had her sign, what do you call it? I would have had her sign book plates, but I'm pretty sure I'm gonna see her signing next year. So just know she's a wonderful human. She was really cool to talk to. I look really short in the picture next to her, but when do I not look short at this point in my life, right? These are the ones okay, so this was, okay. This is the only time I'm going to say anything about it. I didn't think I was going to get the opportunity to meet Catherine Cowles because of like how insane everything was, and like she was ticketed and then she was double ticketed because she was in the ticketed room, that then they have tickets and all this kind of stuff, right? So like I didn't think I was going to get a chance to see her, and I had accepted the fact that like I wasn't going to get one of the Fragile Sanctuary arcs. But never say never, ladies and gentlemen, because this is a Touch Her and Die limited edition trope arc. And in case anybody was wondering, she personalized it for me. So the scream that I screamed when they were like, oh yeah, here you go. And I was like, oh my gosh, you guys still have copies of these? And they were like, yeah, we held some, you know, for today. And I was like, so I got the arc. I'm so excited. Ooh. Anyways, so just know that like, this is honestly one of like my most treasured possessions of this past weekend, because I was like, I cannot believe I got a copy of this. Okay. Then we have Shadows of You by Catherine Cowles. So let me, and she signed it for me. And she was like, honestly, the most like precious human ever. She was so sweet. I like was so happy that I got the opportunity to meet her. And I love this cover. And then my babies, Fractured Sky. I love this series, like Tattered and Torn is my favorite series from Catherine Cowles. And then like Fractured Sky with like Shiloh and Ramsey. I absolutely adored it. So as soon as I found out she was doing this as, there's my receipt too if you want to see that. But yeah, there's the signature. As soon as I knew she was doing like a special edition cover, I was like, ugh, I have to have it obviously. So I got that one. And okay, I'm so excited about this. So there was drama, and like, I'm gonna say this now, it was kind of a hot mess. This entire time was kind of a hot mess. I really, like, when I realized like the road we were headed down, I was like, you know what, like, I'm vowing right now that like, no matter what happens, no matter who I see, like, I'm gonna leave this with like a positive experience. Like, I don't want to be brought down, blah, 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 right? Because I was like, I didn't realize about Rebecca Yaros's like signing, like how it was set up until like we got there. And I was like, oh fuck, like what if I don't get a number? Well, I was one of the lucky 625 people who did get a number through the form that we had to fill out, right? So I was number 158. It is the most efficient line I stood in all weekend. Everybody was so sweet, from like the girls who were helping regulate the line to her older sister, Rebecca's older sister, who was like running the like before you get to Rebecca portion, to the person who like, they had a person there just like taking pictures, like ready to go for you. It was such a positive signing experience, and Rebecca was just such like, she was so sweet, and she was like wonderful to chat with. And you know, I was like very thankful that I got the opportunity to meet her, because I did bring my special editions, well, not my special, but my first editions of Fourth Wing and of Iron Flame, despite how I know I'm gonna feel about Iron Flame when I finish it. So we'll start with Fourth Wing. So I have the hardcover Dragon Sprayed Edges edition, and they had a quote stamp, which I thought was really cool. And I'm gonna try to get close enough. So it's right here, and it says, "A dragon without its rider is a tragedy. A rider without their dragon is dead." So like the quote itself is written in Rebecca Yarros' handwriting, and then it's stamped, so they like quote stamp it, and then she signed it. So, and we had a really great conversation, and she was like, "Oh my gosh, I love your name, blah, blah, blah. Like, I've never seen it before. You know, can I take a picture of it?" I was like, yeah. So it's my Iron Flame copy, obviously the first edition with just the black sprayed edges. I'm hoping for Onyx Storm we get back to like some like really sick sprayed edges. And this quote one I got was, "You are unbreakable," and then there's her signature right here. I think that's it. I mean, there's some things like I ordered online because authors ran out of copies and like they're just gonna ship them later. But looking around, I think that's all the books that like I hauled there and back with me. And then some I obviously picked up. So all in all, I'm choosing to be very positive about how the weekend went. I'm pretty excited about it. So I know there's been a whole lot of conversation around the signing, and I'm just gonna let what others had to say kind of speak for the event itself, because I agree with the vast majority of feedback that is coming through about how like it wasn't organized. Like, I come from sea level, so the fact that like water wasn't readily accessible was very difficult for me, because like I literally live at sea level and like I'm 5,000 feet in the air. So it was a little difficult, but all in all, like it was really great to go. And like I met one of my bookish friends, Amanda, who is also an author herself. And then I got to see Meredith again, and I got to see a lot of really amazing authors. It was stressful. I was kind of sweaty at times. I wasn't sure if I was gonna be able to meet the people I wanted to meet, but like ultimately I'm choosing to really look at the positives and not necessarily like allow the negatives to bring me down, because I know that like I'm gonna be going to some really great signings in the upcoming year, and I just don't want to be negative about it. However, what you're hearing on the internet is accurate. It was exactly what everybody is saying, so I will not take away from the fact that like I wouldn't recommend anybody go to this book signing. However, I got an opportunity to meet some authors that have been on my bucket list for a while, and I got an opportunity to like chat with other book people. I got to spend some time with my friends, and I got to cry to Taylor Swift's new album on the bathroom floor in the hotel, because I woke up super early East Coast time, and I thought that was a good idea. So all in all, like it was stressful, and I wouldn't go back, and I wouldn't recommend it to other people, but I'm choosing to be really excited about the books and the authors I did get the opportunity to meet and get signed and pick up, and I'm just gonna leave it at that. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the vloggy vlog and then the book haul portion of it. As always, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye.